So I wanted to talk to you today about the UV Bloom Sculpt. I am absolutely in love with this product. In fact, I think it might be my favourite product of the month, and that is saying something. So Bloom Sculpt is your UV clear sculpting clay. That was a mouthful. It is non-toxic, but I think it's going to be game-changing in our world, especially those of you that absolutely love making sentimental makes, special keepsakes, and pieces that are really going to touch the heart. So I'm going to put up some videos and add to this one and showing you how easy it is to use. Now think about how you can send little pots of beautiful UV sculpt clay to your customers to take castings, especially to those that aren't local to you. So you can send it in the post, gift it up, ask them to take a print, give them step-by-step instructions, get them to send it back to you so you can make your very special resin castings. It is non-toxic. I've got all the details if you need any further information around this. So you can take castings of precious little fingerprints, maybe children, maybe you've got a pet at home that you want to take a paw print from or a little footprint from. Maybe you just want to take a casting of a seashell or something special that somebody close to you has found or foraged. All these little ideas that are just floating through my head. It's non-stop. I have just made a beautiful necklace. Now, granted, it was my own fingerprint, so I'm not likely to wear it, but it was a great example of what you can do with it and how easy it is as well. Also, you can team it up with your UV resins from Apex because that's just going to make sure your UV clay stands the test of time. Professionalism all the way, that's what we say. Anyway, I'm going to show you now how easy it is to use and how affordable as well. Okay, so we're going to do a quick whistle-stop tour of our lovely Bloom Sculpt. Honestly, I think this might be game-changing for all of us crafters out there who want to up our game a little bit and make some truly statement pieces. So I am just going to take a generous helping. Now, you do need to make sure that you always keep the lid on because, as you know, the UV sunshine, especially coming through my studio windows, is going to cure that little pot of magic in the pot. So we don't want to do that. I use a palette knife to get it out. You can just stick your fingers in there if you'd rather. So always be mindful of your freshly manicured nails. As always, I trash mine, so we may as well start as we mean to go on. Guys, I hope you're well. What have you been up to? Are you all coping with the change of seasons now we're heading into autumn? I am not happy about it. I'm not going to lie. All you pumpkin spice latte folk, I am so cross with you. It has not stopped raining here in the Cotswolds. Anyway, I've got my Bloom Sculpt underway. You can wear gloves. I find it a little bit tacky on gloves. I prefer to use my hands. I'm quite a tactile bird. So I'm going to just sculpt and manipulate. We call this, in the clay world, conditioning. So I'm just giving it a little condition. It's super squidgy, super, super soft. What you want to do is make sure your hands are nice and clean before you do that as well. You don't want to have glittery hands or mica powder hands, which I have got, on your clay before you start getting going. So I'm just literally using an old tile. I just find I prefer using a tile for all of my clay creations. And what I'm going to do is just simply take a roller and give it a little roll. I use the Sun UV lamp from Amazon. It's between 20 and 30 quid. The price does change on that. So if you're looking for a bargain, do keep an eye out. It has been in an Amazon Prime deal before as well. I had fake tan, not literally, but the mica powder from my website on my hands. You can still see bits of it and it's come out a little bit on my clay. So do be careful. Next up, I'm going to get some jewellery bezels. Ooh, I sell all these bezels on my website, guys. I am going to put a little video up as well to show you one that I made this morning. And I used a bezel like this for that one. So you'll see that in a minute. But I think I'm going to do a different type. I'm going to do a closed back only because I've not had a go at a closed back bezel yet. So I'm going to try my luck at one of those. I've done lots of open back bezels. I think I fancy a closed back bezel. So that's what we're going to do. And what we won't be using that one. Look at the state of that. We'll not use that. That is no good here. We'll use a teardrop. Oh, I have done a backed bezel actually. I did this on Instagram Live not so long ago. I have indeed done one of these, but maybe we won't do that then. I've done that already. I'll show you. I'm going to put a picture up on the side of a backed bezel. Here we go, guys. I've just got one here that I've done before. So I've already done a backed bezel. We're changing our mind as I always do. We've got plain hooped bezels. I really love these ones though, these rustic ones. Those. Yeah, we're going to go for it. So there's different ways you could do your print now if you wanted to with your finger or thumb or whatever you're doing, or you can put the bezel in and then do it, which is my preferred way of doing it actually. And so what I'm going to do is simply make sure my bezel is wide enough. I'm going to roll until it's in there. And you can take a blade if you want to cut away the excess, which I will do in a minute. But most importantly, I really want to make sure my bezel is up the right way. And I'm going to pop my beautiful, freshly manicured nails, I'll have you know, into there. And give it a good push. That you probably, I don't know if I can get that to show up on my camera, but that's definitely there. So you could consider, look at that fake tan, Micah, dirty girl. Right, what we're going to do is get our beautiful powders, whatever you want really. I fancy Polar Light. I think there's such a nice place for Polar Light Chameleon Pigment. I really love it. I'm going to use a very soft bristled brush. This is your top tip. You need a soft bristled brush for this. If you're using an acrylic or an oil paint brush, it's not going to work. Let me show you how beautiful this is on the black of my strap. Look at that. Isn't that pretty? So we're going to use that one. Chameleon. I'm going to just dust the excess off. We can always add more, but what we don't want to do is add too much in the first go to clog it up, if you like. So we're going to just very gently, I am not pushing very hard at all on this clay. The last thing I want to do is lose or dislodge any of that print. Look at that. Isn't that cool? Oh, there's something therapeutic when a plan comes together. I can't stop using this stuff, and all I keep thinking about is how am I going to use this on our pets, on our lovely animals, maybe locks of hair from our children, maybe prints from the seashells that we forage on the beach. Look at that, that's so pretty. What I'm going to do now is tidy it up, pause the video, well, I'm not going to pause the video, I'm going to stop talking, that's what I'm going to do, and speed up. On what bezel you use, you might just want to use a dotting tool just to open up the where the bail is and the jump ring and necklace is going to go, but I'm going to do that at the end. So my bezel is nice, and oh my goodness, this is going to be beautiful. I'm going to start curing it, and what I'm going to do is cure this for a couple of minutes. 3 or 4 minutes is a good rule of thumb, so let's do it. So just taking my blade, be careful because the blades are super sharp. I'm just going to take that blade underneath. There is a little bit of trimming to do, which we'll do, but you can definitely see that gorgeous, gorgeous print. So I am just going to flip it and do the underside as well. I'm just going to tidy it up a little bit with my burring tool. A little bit messy at the moment. What I want to do is also do a UV top coat on here, and then I'm going to show you something very exciting with the bloom drops. So very carefully do a little blue UV, Apex UV, of course, guys. Super, super special under the light. And I'm going to do this for 3 to 4 minutes. Annoyingly, my microphone has stopped working, so I'm going to do a voiceover for the rest of the video, guys. And I have just cured our lovely piece, and there you can see the fingerprint shining on through that Polar Light. It's absolutely beautiful. I'm just using my deburring tool just to remove the excess. I do this at every stage really because it just makes it a little bit easier. If I did it at the very end instead of between the layers, it's a little bit trickier to do, but that looks really, really good. So I'm coming in with Bloom Drops now, and I'm going to use Charcoal Storm. It's an absolute beauty of an ink, and I'm just literally going to spread it on with a dabber on the back of the pendant. There's different ways that you can do this. I'm just going to use a long swab stick to do this because I keep damaging all my paintbrushes with alcohol ink, and I just don't wash them properly afterwards, so I always just use one of these long handled swabs, and they work an absolute treat. I'm just going to speed up the video because I just want to show you the end. Charcoal Storm and Polar Light together like this screams black opal to me. Honestly, I gave it a UV top coat using the Apex, of course, 3 to 4 minutes under the cure lamp, and when I took it out I was just so excited. I think it's just super game changing as our small businesses grow and evolve. It's just another thing to add to the list of makes. Just look at it. You can see the definition of that fingerprint absolutely perfectly, and I think it's that charcoal black backdrop. And you could do this with a one coat resin backdrop. You could use stag beetle black, you could use a mica powder, you could use almost midnight dark blue, whatever you can get your hands on. I am truly, truly in love. What do you think, guys? As always, thank you so much for watching. Honestly, it really brings me so much joy to see all my lovely products and creations all over the globe being used and loved by all of us small business folk, hobbyists and artists alike. If you have chance, do give me a like and a subscribe, guys. It really means the world to little old me. And I'm going to wish you a happy rest of your week. See you next time.